Welcome to this week's episode of Hump Day Romance. I'm your host, Zeus. Let me ask y'all a question, lady. Why don't women listen? School me. Come on now. Y'all know this is Zeus. I'm your brother. I'm your son. I'm your cousin. Explain to me, ladies, why women don't listen. And before we get into this battle, this is not about to be a man and woman versus that. We're just going to speak facts, right? Because a lot of women, don't listen to other women. And you look at them, it's like, see, I know, see, that's why she ain't got no man, because she don't listen. So don't act like this don't exist. But let me ask you something. If you meet a man and you say, hey, I don't want to have sex. I'll go out on a date, I'll do those things, but I don't want to have sex, right? And he says, okay, cool, no problem. He agrees verbally, and he decides to continue dating you and all those things. How do you feel, ladies, after a day or two, or a week or two, or, a month or so, that same person that you said, hey, I like you, I enjoyed you, I want to see where this is going, but I'm not ready for sex right now, right? Don't want your penis inside of me. Is that all right? Cool. And he says, all right, no problem. No veins. We won't do it. So how do you feel a month later when he keeps pressuring you to do that? Do you feel like he didn't listen to you? Do you feel like, dang, man, like I told you what it was and you still trying to force me to do something I don't want to do? If you feel that way, I can totally understand, because that's not right. To try to force somebody to do something when the person told you what they were ready for and not ready for, and they said they were cool with it. That's not cool, ladies, and you shouldn't mess with men to deal with those type of things. Or I should say, you shouldn't mess with men who do those type of things, right? Because that's exactly how I feel when it comes to y'all in these relationships. A lot of y'all get told from the beginning that we do not want a relationship. And what y'all will do is you will say, okay, you will continue to date us. You will give us some amazing fellatio, some good sloppy toppy. You will toot that thing up for us. And then spend the rest of the time trying to force us, convince us, and guilt us, damn near shame us into being in a relationship with you. Ma'am, I don't know who told you about common sense. I don't know, but when somebody say no, baby, no mean no. No mean uh-uh. Even babies know what uh-uh means. I always thought that was interesting. Many times I've been in relationships, or I've talked to people who have been in relationships, and women say, oh, well, he's not ready for commitment, he's playing around. But they never say if that man told them that from the beginning. Because if he did, then you're the one that's violating the contract. You see what I'm saying? See, a lot of women, y'all think that y'all are supposed to be in a relationship with the dude that you like all the time. But sometimes you're not the person that he needs you to be. I meet a lot of women who want relationships because they want to benefit from it, but they don't understand what it takes to be a woman to a man. What that entails, because it really entails, because if you think about it, if you're a woman who has a real man, you're not just going to be kicking your feet up on vacation. That man is building a future for you all now, right? He was building a future for himself, but now he's building a future for you as well once y'all get together. But you might not have anything to offer. That's the same thing that happened. A lot of men get raped into relationships. Let's just call it what it is. It's forceful entry into my heart and commitment. That's what it is. Most of the time, a lot of women force men into commitment because they don't want to be alone. And I'm not saying all women. Some women can be alone by themselves, or some women respect men who say, hey, thank you for letting me know what you're ready for and what you're not. Now, if you're a smart woman, you're going to ask the man's reason of why he don't want to be in a relationship. Because most women are so vain that they think that it has something to do with them. See, a lot of women, you'll tell them, hey, look, I don't want to be in a relationship. And then they think, well, I'm the shit and I'm special, so I can change his mind. Ma'am, I understand that you think you are the best thing since sliced bread. All I'm saying is butter rolls exist, okay? There's other kind of bread, there's bagels, okay? I know you feel like you the toast of the town, baby, but some of us are lowering our carbs these days. That's all I'm saying. So, a lot of women and your friends, right? Start sitting back, ladies. Start sitting back and listening to the women who swore somebody did them wrong when he really communicated to her in the first place and she ignored it. She said, oh, he's just joking, or whatever. See, a lot of men, we're really on our personal journeys. Now, a lot of y'all are Christian women, right? So you say you want men who are on God's journey. Well, here's the interesting part about that. I meet a lot of Christian women who want to rush God's time frame for them, but they swear that they following him. A lot of women don't even know how to follow God. You don't even want to wait for him to bless you with the man. I knew a friend of mine, right? And she said she met a guy, and the guy said, "Man, I want to marry you." They only known each other for 2 seconds, like a week or a month, something like that. And I want to marry you. I want to do all these things, right? She's all buttered up because in her mind, that's what she wants. And I told her, I said, "Hey, you got to be careful about having unrealistic expectations of people because that balloon can go deflated very quickly." The next week, he told her, "Hey, listen, I got to take some time to myself. I'm not the man I'm supposed to be. I got to get my finances together. I got to do X, Y, Z." She was devastated and she called me for advice. I said, "Listen, I totally understand why you're disappointed. That man should have never told you about all these things that he wanted to do if he wasn't ready to do them, right? Maybe that was his way of just confessing his love to let you know, hey, listen, I have plans and intentions to do great things with you, but right now I'm not ready because God is still developing me. In order to be a wife, all you got to do is just be attractive and, sometimes people ain't even that, right? To be a husband, you got to have a lot of stuff. You got to have your money. You got to have a house. You got to be able to protect. You got to be smart. You got to be nurturing, right? You got to have like a whole third leg to hit the floor and drag when you walk. Like you got to have stamina. You got to have a lot of things. You got to be God-fearing, right? Women don't have to have much to be a wife. All you got to do is just have the aesthetics. And if you're a nice person, right, you ain't even got to have no job. If you're a nice person, his family will say, "Oh, well, she's a great wife." Notice I ain't say nothing about cooking and cleaning. That used to be the standard. It's not like that no more. So it's easier for women to want to jump into a relationship with a man if she doesn't understand that she has responsibilities to the situation the same way that he does. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, moral of this story, start to listen, ladies. Fellas, moral of this story, do not let anyone pressure you into doing something you don't want to do, okay? Another moral of this story, start to listen to the men that you're dealing with, ladies. Stop hearing what you want to hear, okay? Because that happens a lot. A lot of time, women say men don't communicate. That's not true. I'm a communicating motherfucker. I will communicate all my thoughts to you. All I need is for you to do is to listen and try to understand. Don't try to understand your perspective. Try to understand mine. You keep wanting to see things from the movie lens that you see it from, and you'll only be able to understand yourself. You see what I'm saying? So ladies, stop trying to be in a relationship with a man who's being honest with you and telling you he's not ready for it. Because if you think about it, that's kind of a mature thing to do in itself, right? Because think about it, a dude that really ain't about anything, he's gonna lie to you and tell you everything that you want to hear. Think about that. What good does it do if a man is telling you the truth, which could possibly take his cheeks off the table? You might not give him none after you hear this truth. He's risking that. But you're taking it as, oh, he don't want to be with me. Nah, mama. God takes time to develop real men. And if you're a woman who believes in God, then you need to believe in that man. Because just because you meet that man, don't mean he's ready for you to be your husband yet. It just means y'all ready to meet. But my homegirl, who was all into this guy, right? She was all into him. It's like, man, I liked him. Once he said that, hey, I need a little bit of time, she said, oh, well, that friendship time is over. I don't have no more time no more. I'm just gonna keep pushing. Like, dang. So that means that you want a man, and when you meet him, right, you like him. He's not ready for what you're ready for, but because he's not where you want him to be, and because he doesn't have the things, he's not whisking you off and doing the person, doing all that Disney Channel stuff you want him to do, you feel like it'll never happen. So therefore, let me go on to the next guy. Okay. That's a big reason why men usually marry the woman who was like their friend for a long time. Because those are the women that we can see are going to be there with us, because they're not there for conditional love. A lot of women want to be with us if we give them the conditions that they want. And if we don't give them the conditions that they want, they'll go find somebody else that will. No problem. But understand, you're not looking for love. You're looking for the best deal. You're looking for the best contract. You're not looking for love. Because a real man is going to say, hey, I see the value in you. And I feel like it's wrong for me to tell you that I'm ready to have your hand in marriage and start this life with you when I know that I'm going to disappoint you. I would rather say, hey, let me get my finances together. Let me learn financial literacy. So when we do come together, I'm exactly who you want me to be. Hell, I'm exactly who I want to be. Forget that. I'm who God wants me to be. That's what it is. You know what I mean? The same way how men are expected to wait for women when it comes to their sexuality, right? If a dude say, "Hey, she's abstinent, she's not having sex," if I say, "Man, forget that, I'm about to go find a girl that's having sex," I look like a messed up dude, right? Because they like, well, she's worth waiting for. Well, why aren't men worth waiting for, ladies? If you find that man that you think could possibly be your husband just because he's not where you want him to be, who said that that was supposed to be that in the first place? Some of us, our expectations are all the way jacked up in the beginning. So when things don't happen like that, we think something's wrong when, mama, it was never supposed to be that way in the first place at all. You see what I'm saying? We have to start to ask ourselves, are you patient for what you want? Because a lot of women are sabotaging their own happiness because they have expectations that are just completely unrealistic. Life is hard, and a man has to develop himself. If you've enjoyed this episode of Hump Day Romance, then feel free to donate $1 to the show. We appreciate everybody that's been sending in donations. Man, it really helps with the production. It really helps me be able to hire people to help me get these ideas out to y'all every day, all day. If you've enjoyed this episode, but you feel like we didn't touch on everything, put a comment down below. Tell me what you agreed with and what you don't agree with, right? We just having a conversation. We welcome all intelligent conversation in the comments. Don't forget to share this video with somebody that needs to hear it. I'm Top Rope Zeus. Live your dreams, not your reality.
Respect. Get it.